Okay, it's Thursday afternoon, just afternoon. Look at that sky behind me, right? After 3 or 4 days of cloudy, rainy, wet weather, this is quite lovely. And better than that, when I left this morning, I wasn't sure there was going to be an opportunity to do any sailing. I actually took the mainsail cover off and then put it back on because I wanted it to dry better. If I know, I just came out onto, this is the Bay River. We're waking up, making our way down to the News River. There's about probably 20 boats within 5 miles all or 3 miles, all of us going to the same place, Oriental, North Carolina. And as soon as we got out on the Bay River, we went from like 6 or 7 knots of breeze to almost 15 just behind the beam. So I've got the head sail out. We're doing 5/8 or sometimes up to 6 something in the puffs. So it's been a real nice day. Left in the rain. As the day's gone on, we've got progressively warmer and a little more sun. So all in all, a very good day. Hope to get to Oriental tonight, probably anchor, and then maybe Beaufort, which is right on the coast, on tomorrow on Friday. And then there's a little bit, a 2.5 day weather window, Saturday, Sunday, where I think I might be able to go offshore and put some, get 200 miles or 220 miles under the keel, which would be great. Stay tuned. Good morning and happy Halloween. It's Friday, October the 31st, 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in my anchorage from last night. So this is at the base of Adam Creek, which is south of Oriental, North Carolina. And this is, you can see maybe right over here, there's a post in the water. That post is a red day marker, and that marks the intercoastal waterway. So, I'm less than 100 yards off of the main path that I'm following. But just wanted to highlight, here it is, the luxury or the bliss of cruising southward. It's 11 degrees this morning. I had a sausage and egg sandwich and a pot of coffee, and I'm now wearing 3 layers of clothes, including insulated socks. However, there's an end in sight. So today's plan is to motor the 15 miles down the river to Beaufort, North Carolina, top up my fuel tanks, and maybe try and get a little sightseeing in, and then either this evening or tomorrow morning, first thing, outside to the Atlantic and take advantage of a beautiful couple of days of weather and go south. Try and get as far as Charleston, perhaps. So that's what's going on today. And here's a quick look around at the anchorage. There were several other boats here last night. There were 2 catamarans over there. You can see I'm only probably 400 or 500 yards offshore. Some real pretty houses along the shoreline here, and then that's Grand Traverse. I'm not sure what kind of boat they are, but they're pretty unique and distinct looking. And it's several anchorages with them over the last few days. So sometimes the universe has other plans than our own, right? And today was a good example of that. Further, just after I made that last video about what my plans were, I went to start the motor and pull the anchor up, and the engine wouldn't start. So I thought, I've already troubleshot it. I think I've got it running again, but I thought it would be an interesting image for people to be able to understand what that means a little bit. So unfortunately, I've already put a lot of stuff back together, but you can still see sort of what I'm talking about. So first thing, half of my tools are under here. So anything that's on this settee has to be moved. The rest of the tools are up here. I've got a toolbox out here now. So, my electrical toolkit was out. I've got a toolbox here, depending on what tools I need. And then I'll insert a picture about here of what the instrument panel looks like. But in order to take the instrument panel off, the instrument panel is where I start the engine. It's over here. And in order to take that off, this radio has to come off. The diesel shutoff has to be completely disassembled and removed. This little hood has to be removed, and the blower hose has to be taken off and pushed into the cavity behind it. Then that instrument panel can come off, and you've only got a few inches to be able to move it to troubleshoot the back. So earlier, that back seat was full of tools. And then in order to get to the engine itself, I have to climb into the lazarette, which you've seen, which means all of the fenders, all of my rope, all of my hoses, electrical cords, and the emergency life raft all have to come out of that lazarette to give me access to the engine. So, never mind the actual troubleshooting and repair. There's 20 or 30 minutes of physical activity just to be able to get access to the place you need to do the troubleshooting. So, luckily, just through I'm not a maintenance, I'm not a mechanical guy, I'm not an electrical guy, but just some basic experience with diesel engines today helped me understand that I think I had a loose connection down at my oil pressure sending unit on the engine. Just using the multimeter, I was able to figure out that I'm getting power to the instrument panel. I had continuity through the start switch, which was also powering the electric fuel pump, so I knew that was good. And then the push button to start the diesel, I also had continuity through that. I was able to start it. It wouldn't jumper, but when I got down and started trying to figure out where wires were going, I wiggled around some stuff on the pressure sensor on the back of the solenoid, everything that might be a problem. And it turns out when I came back up, I was able to jump the engine. So I believe I've got a loose connection on the oil pressure sending unit. I'll have to monitor that. But now, in the spirit of winning versus learning, if I have this problem again, I know exactly where to go to try and figure out which wire has the loose connection. So, like I said, the universe obviously had a different timeline for me today. I'm going to put all that stuff back, get the boat tidied back up again, change out of my mechanic's clothes and into my sailing clothes, and get underway for Beaufort. All right, so it's 2:30 on Friday, Halloween. Happy Halloween! And I made it to Beaufort, North Carolina, and chose to motor into the river right in front of the old Beaufort town docks, and I am so glad I did. There were a couple other anchorages I could have chosen, but this is just stunning. So I'm going to get up on the bow and kind of show you around a little bit. So got here just around 1 o'clock after solving the problem this morning with the motor, and within 15 minutes of dropping the anchor here, I met this nice young couple, Alex and Amy. He's from Newmarket, she's from PEI, and their adorable 9-month-old daughter named Marcy. So they're out doing this same thing too, cruising. They left mid-September and worked their way down the East Coast. So nice to meet them. Hope we cross paths again along the way. So this is the view from my anchored boat of the waterfront in Beaufort, North Carolina. I don't know if you can appreciate how big that boat is. It's enormous. Tons and tons of money, evidently, here in the Carolinas. Some of the sport fishing boats I passed, or that passed me, I didn't pass anybody, today were just enormous. One of them I thought was maybe Michael Jordan's. It was that, North Carolina blue, but it wasn't. Anyway, here's the anchorage. It's awesome. This is a great spot. I don't think I'm going to stay. That's Alex and Amy's boat there. I don't think I'm going to stay. Well, I might stay tonight, but either tonight or first thing in the morning, I'm going to get out and go outside and try and make some miles down the coast. Anyway, if you get a chance, this is a beautiful place. I'm going to try and go ashore. Have a little bit of free time before I have to make any decisions.